This is my 1-year-old world. So that means I've been building in this world for a whole year. Yes. Maybe not a whole year. I did receive some burnout. Like I was given it. Yeah, I burnt out a little bit. But I am back, and I am back and making videos again. So I did overcome the burnout. But I have pretty much been building on this world for pretty much a whole year. It is so nice to have a world that you can just come back to constantly and just see what you've done, what you built, and things you can even improve on. So to give a little bit of background to this world, this is a world that came from a story when I was in high school. And then I wanted to make it into like an actual webtoon comic style thing. So I tried to do that. Let's just say I didn't get too far. But now we are doing it in Minecraft because I love playing Minecraft. I've always wanted to become a better builder in Minecraft too. So it kind of works out. And now I have something to just strive and build for and make even more stories that I never even got to in the world of Perennial. So speaking of Perennial, some lore behind the story is the story is actually called The Five Kingdoms. The world is Perennial, and I just thought the word was cool. Okay, don't ask me why. I was in high school. I just thought it was a cool word, same thing. And from there, I wanted these 5 kingdoms that just like came together constantly, that would fight whatever came at them. And that's how the world, kind of lived in somewhat peace. Since I haven't actually completed this story, I will likely change a lot of things and even change names. I don't know if it's going to keep being called Perennial, but it's kind of still cool. Right now, I have only started the Forest Kingdom, so there are still other kingdoms to come. So we've got the Sky Kingdom, we've got the Underworld Kingdom, we've got the Water Kingdom, we've got the Mountain Kingdom, and like I said, I am working on the Forest Kingdom. I've just started it pretty much, and there's still a lot to build. These are just the main kingdoms, so there's still going to be other attractions around the world itself. But I do want to make this world just as best as I can, so if you want to join that journey, definitely hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, I guess it's time to start the world tour. Nothing like starting out at spawn. Okay, so spawn did not really start at spawn. I built spawn way later. This is my trusty steed Mabel. It's been here pretty much the beginning of my YouTube journey. This world pretty much started when I started doing YouTube videos and stuff, so it's only been a year, and I feel like I've progressed in the world and in YouTube, so it's been a really nice journey and feeling. I have different things here that I could show you. I probably shouldn't hop on Mabel just yet. Let me show you a couple things. You can tell that this is way later because we're using nether wart for the tent here, just to add a little bit of texture and color variation. And then we use some jungle trapdoors to kind of create the back so it's not too bulky back there. And then from the inside, it's pretty nice. It's just a bed with a crafting table, and then you got a couple of storage here, some supplies to get you started when you begin, and then this book is just lore. So if you ever download the world, I just recommend reading that book, and it's just a starting point, and I don't want to spoil it too much. But pretty much you're just a person who doesn't have a very good memory. I used this as like a slab of meat, so you're cooking your meat. And honestly, I probably should put some steak here, but I'm in creative mode as well. So anything I change, it's not gonna stay. So I will have to go back into my actual regular survivor world and just change things that I see. There's probably gonna be a couple things that I've probably missed or messed up on and stuff. I haven't toured the whole thing in a long time. And then from here, I haven't really fleshed out the path like I have in some other places. So this forest will need work, and I do want to make it more custom as well to just kind of give a vibe that this is a custom world. But I have added a couple things, just like a couple fallen logs, coarse dirt and stuff, to hopefully help you lead the path. Okay, I need to clarify this. This was not the first build, but this is the first build of the tour. This build was actually probably one of the most recent ones. Got a couple of custom trees. Love making these type of trees. Very simple, easy to make. And then got a couple of other different types of custom trees. Don't love them. I feel like I got a little bit rushed or lazy, and I feel like I just kind of wanted to pull up some trees to give the idea. Like, I feel like that right there is too bulky and kind of need to shape that out. I might be a little judgmental this video. There's gonna be a couple things that I go back to because obviously it's past Jess, and he hasn't built a. You know, your mind's forever growing, and you learn things that you could change and and kind of improve on. But let's just try to give it as much of a tour, but I'll also speak my mind on things that I could do better, like trunks. Leafage, what I recommend is just kind of use less. Less is more, actually. It's really good to just use less. Make sure the branches are very exposed. It just gives more character to the tree. Just my opinion. We've got a wagon here. It's kind of like a quarry, and it's abandoned pretty much. Danger, danger, don't go in. Just more carts with stone in it. Got even the whole, what's it called, stockpile of it as well. Just wanted to give a kind of eerie, kind of abandoned vibe. Added a lot of these pale moss hanging roots and stuff, pale moss carpets, just to give that growth and stuff onto the beams. We'll call them beams, supports. So this is actually housing my spider farm. So down here is where I get the string and stuff, and then up here is actually the spider farm. It is just a spider spawner. They get pushed up. Got sound over here. But yeah, just wanted to give like a kind of weird eerie vibe. Put a lot of storage just to cover up a lot of things. And yeah, that is the, hopefully was able to get that vibe going. Further down, we can go into the actual mines themselves, but it's gonna be weird because since this is one of the kind of more recent ones, it feels more finished and polished, even though it is an abandoned mine, which doesn't really make sense. But it just feels like I put more thought into this build than some others, so you know, it's gonna be weird. But I like the crane. I really like it. I was trying to come up with a way to make the crane look like it like tipped over. It's difficult. It's difficult to get like slabs and stuff go in kind of a diagonal motion. I mean, it's possible, but it just doesn't look right. So I just went with this. Just left it floating. But this snap right here, like, it just looks like it's broken. This is supposed to be kind of like a wheel you turn to, like, you know, crank it up and stuff. Just using a grindstone for that. Lots of holes and things in the actual platform just to make it look more damaged. Probably could have done that more like here and stuff too, but I think it's done enough. It's enough to show that it's abandoned. This right down here is also just a bunch of ores that were being lifted up, but obviously the chain broke. Now it's just collapsed down here. Chest has maybe something good for you to check out. And then as well as some zombies that I captured. Didn't cure though. The mines is just an actual abandoned mines. So that is kind of how the idea came about. There might be one day where I actually make it the actual mines a little more accustomed, but I feel like I don't really need to right now. Whenever I just feel like it, I will maybe do it. But let's continue on to our next stop. Yeah, just a couple more storage things, just kind of giving the idea and vibe and stuff. No smoke, even though there is a fire inside. I decided no smoke because obviously it is abandoned. Why would there be still smoke? But yeah. Oh, fox all the way out here? I didn't expect that. That's wild. Interesting. Okay, floating tree. Let's not talk about that. Oh, here we are. This is the most recent build, just by viewpoint, because you can see a couple of other things here. We got the windmill, we got the watermill, and then as well as a barn, and we even have the bee house. We've got the harbor. This path right here will hopefully be more touched up, and then we'll kind of get some different silhouettes and different sections. So maybe like right here at this section, while this is still covered up, I can maybe focus more on the, you know, farm side of things. And then as you move forward, you can kind of see this, and that'll be more covered up, things like that. And then from here, you can see the waterfall very clearly. And then yeah, I love playing with sight lines. I love playing with just ideas like that. Straightforward, you can eventually see the big damaged structure over there. We can probably only see this right now because of my retina distance is super high at the moment, so you probably won't be able to see it from this distance normally, because I think my render distance is actually all the way up to 50. I have a mod doing that. Oh, a couple other things, I guess, since we are crossing this bridge. I am trying to get better at like moving my camera, trying to not make people nauseous. Even when I'm editing, I can feel it. I'm like, wow, I am moving so much. But anyways, this is, I honestly don't remember when I built this bridge, but this is one of the early builds, and I feel like it holds up pretty well. I still like it a lot. The gradient could be a little bit smoother, but I still like the use of colors I did, using the darker variants for the underside, and then as well as transitioning from like the cobbly mossy variant into kind of lighter colors. I like that. It just kind of gives interest, and from afar it looks quite nice. I mean, obviously there are things I'm gonna change and criticize and stuff if I were to do it today, but I think it still holds up pretty well. Next up, we are in the city of Lawa. City, village, town. I honestly don't know the size difference. I want to call it a town. I'd call it a town. I don't want to call it too much of a city. The town of Lawa. So we've got this tree, this custom tree. I think it's okay. I like that I actually did use different leaf variants, but I feel like I should have put a darker leaf variant for the bottom, and then as well as the trunk, the leaves and stuff. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. Things will change eventually. We got a nice lamppost design, and you know, I've kept this pretty much all the way through this whole city, and I like it. Oh, the one trick I do with these lampposts, obviously the light being all the way up there, that's not going to mob-proof your place. What I recommend is moss carpets with a torch underneath, and then you can kind of expand it further out, just kind of keep it, you know, in the vicinity of a lamppost, and it kind of feels like the lamppost itself is illuminating like the circle around it, and that will just mob-proof your place even better. Similar with things like near here, you can kind of just expand it further out around there. So right now, I'll just drop off Mabel in the stables. Yeah, this is a stable. This is where I keep Mabel most of the times, just to keep her safe. And just since I don't need to horse around all the time, it's just a nice place for her to play with her friends. And we got our cute pet here, Milo. Hi, Milo. Guarding the place, keeping creepers out. That's good, that's good. Usually we do have a cartographer here. Some would say they are on break. Others would say they fell ill to the plague or something. I don't know, maybe. No, there should be a cartographer there, but it did sadly perish. And we will eventually replace them. And that's just how it is. We got a wagon here. We got a couple of wagons just to kind of add lore to the world, you know. Then we got the wells. We got more like kind of stockpile huts. And then we've got these birch trees that I do not like. I do not like these ones specifically. without further ado, let us move forward. I actually didn't have a lot of animals roaming around because I think a lot of them were stuck in caves and stuff, but I terraformed the place and now they're all out. So maybe keep them underground to like maybe have less of them just randomly roaming your place. Who knows, it kind of keeps it alive. But our next building will be the inn. Viewers actually named it Shyin. Play on the pun, I guess. And then we got our beautiful cat Dell here, also keeping creepers away. Just kind of, you know, the tavern cat, always hanging out, being a rascal. You got our innkeeper. Should add a book here, but they've got my unbreaking. So this is kind of my trading hall. It could be better, but I have traded quite a lot with these guys. They do sink in the chairs because of fresh animations. It kind of makes them sit even more. But in like vanilla Minecraft, I think they stand, which is also bizarre. But yeah. They also have little dialogue as well, just right behind them. Like back off. So don't get too close. They will smack you. Then we got our little bartenders. The funny thing is, making them run kind of makes it feel like they're very busy and trying to get to your order. But it's really, they're just scared of the zombie. They're just scared of the zombie. But yeah, I've done a couple trades with these peeps. And then yeah, I just got different jobs. Lots of Fletcher jobs, obviously. Very easy to trade with Fletchers. And then we even got a person up here. I think this person doesn't really have a dialogue. I'll show you some important dialogue just to kind of get you an idea of this place. Yeah, sad that guy went crazy. Oh, what guy are they talking about? I missed the old kingdom. Oh, what happened? What happened to the kingdom? And then just some back storage. Nothing really in there. I haven't added anything in there. But I will add like little loot things for you to kind of find and explore with. Up here, you've just got the rooms, I guess. All numbered, just normal rooms, employees only back here. All of them aren't like super decorated, just beds, carpets, and stuff. And you know, most inns aren't really super decorated. And here we are. This is our beautiful, what do I want to call this? Storage for the employees. Just kind of like an attic storage. Oh, I hear a zombie over there. Anyways. That might be a secret. I'm playing it off as if I don't know. There is a secret there. I also, since like I mentioned earlier, I haven't updated. I will probably switch a lot of these trapdoors into the actual shelves, which is so nice. I can finally have the villagers just stop jumping around. Oh, the AI is great. I love it. So this way we are down at the harbor side. We've got some beautiful shops and homes. This one's just a bookshop. See, they get stuck on it. I just can't wait to switch it. I switch it, everything will be fixed and they'll finally come down and up and go to their job and stuff. You have a terrible book. So this is pretty much the bookshop. It's not much of a library, just kind of like a little small bookshop and just areas for you to read. And then we've got all of these homes. I'm not going to go to every single one, but they're similar, but you know, slightly different in either just levels or height and things. But yeah, small kitchen, small reading place, and then small bed. If you ever want to just sit and live in one of these places, you can. They're all furnished up. Everything has an interior. This has like an all the way upstairs kind of situation for the bed. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All pretty similar houses. And down here we've got the docks. We got the beautiful docks. I fish here literally all the time. I keep my fishing stuff right in here. Might spread out this loot. So even though I don't have all of these things that I'm saying done, that is kind of the eventual goal, is kind of what I'm saying. I mean, obviously I still play in this world, so things are going to be more convenient for me. But eventually, when I feel like I'm in a good place where I can start visiting previous places and start putting loot and things for you guys to find, that's kind of the idea. A beautiful boat. I'm still gonna figure out a way to keep villagers from hopping up here, but I think this is good. I think this was a pretty good solution, but these things here, I needed to figure out how to stop them from like jumping up. Maybe I could switch out the lantern for something else. But yeah, I like it, and I might have to retest it again. Probably have to switch these out for something else, so that way they kind of don't escape again. Maybe I'll just put gates here. But yeah, there's supposed to be like a, you know, captain, a harbor master. I could probably just have them stuck and sit here, just like I did with the tavern people. So we'll do that, like a captain. We'll have a captain sitting there. And then as well as we've just got a crane kind of hauling resources up and down. And where are they hauling it up to? Right up here into our beautiful storage system. The storage system has been good to me. I have moved from here, but I loved it. I love the system. I love the idea that, you know, we've got shipments, so that's why this place is filled up with just random resources. So I just used it as my storage system. Yeah, all labeled. Got the essential tools right here. Got even an ender chest, which doesn't feel part of it, but you know, maybe it's something they found underwater. Who knows? Got a beautiful cat, Tiana. Hello, Tiana. Keeping creepers away. Beautiful as usual. And then this is just where I kept my bulk storage, but obviously the idea is they have a lot of storage. And then up here we have the harbor master's quarters, and both buildings just connect on this little bridge, little arch bridge. I like how this area came out, and I feel like this place still holds really well. I guess we can move on to the farming area and then come on back. So here we've got another bridge, slightly different from the very different from the previous bridge. Still kind of similar colors, but different style, I guess. Yeah, this is more of like an arched bridge. And then as well as we've got different type of support, more of like supporting coming from the actual cliff sides. So don't know my bridges. I just decided to build a bridge because it looked cool. That's really it. That's really the reason. I just come up with a shape and I just try to go for it. Here is our beautiful beekeeper hive situation. Greenhouse. That's what it's called. I don't know why I just say random words. But this is a tree. We got our beautiful tree that's kind of crashing and growing into the greenhouse itself. Yeah, I just thought it looked cool. But like I said, I would probably change things, especially with that tree. We got a beehive here. Even though this isn't creative, I still don't want the bees escaping. Things I would change in here. Flowers being kind of randomly placed. Don't like it. I would probably like pile them up in certain colors together. Bamboo being in here, kind of odd. I feel like I was just trying to fill this space. I'm just being nitpicky. And then as well as we actually have the farm right in here. We got our bee farm. Honey farm? Sorry. Honey farm. I'm not farming the bees themselves. But yeah, they're hard at work right there. I was trying to keep a villager in here, but they kept either escaping or just dying to something. But I wasn't sure what they were kind of dying to. But yeah, that's kind of why that bed was there. And that's why the composter was there, because they could just farm, go to bed. But I don't know. They would end up just doing something silly. Anyways, let's move on to the next space. You can go down this way into this direction. Got another custom tree. You can see like just the different varieties of trees I tried to build. This was probably first or third build I did. It still gives the barn vibes, but I feel like it could still be improved. The tree could still be improved. It's still good. It still gives barn idea. Maybe church. Maybe church vibes. All right. So in here we've got our nice, beautiful Doggo River. And then up here is actually a sheep farm, but it's not even fully complete. Up here I keep goofing on stuff, and then I also keep changing the color of the sheep for whatever I need. So yeah, we've just got random colors. Honestly, barely use it. I feel like I should use wool more, but I really don't. I mainly do this too now as well. I just like dye the sheep and then shear all of them. This is where I get all my steaks. Oh, sadly but true. And then I actually do keep Mabel in one of these stables as well. And we've got just a random horse, untamed, unsaddled. Alright, I need to get out of this noise. Ooh, too many animals. We just got storage, and then up here we actually have the outside pens. These animals I never touch. These are just more aesthetics. Just more for the aesthetics. We got a coop, got chickens, got seeds on the floor. That's kind of the idea I was going for, just like seeds on the floor there. You got a pig pen, you got mud everywhere, a little mud pile, dirt thing they love. Yeah, they're just adorable. This was pre-new animal variant. Got a field of carrots, got a field of wheat. I feel like could expand these more. Especially the wheat. I want the wheat to go like everywhere. We'll circle back around to the watermill. Let's just go up to the windmill first. Right up here we got a cart. I tried to give the idea like they opened this up to like take the things out of the cart, but I don't know if it gives that vibe. Scarecrows don't have clothes on because I actually am using a resource pack. Yeah, it just makes armor invisible. That's why they had no clothes on. But yeah, the scarecrows were just meant to look like this. I try to use as little mods like armor stand mods and stuff like that, but I do sometimes just use quality of life mods or resource packs and stuff to kind of give a fresh look to the game. Right in here, we've got a beautiful house. Just like a nice, humble abode. And then up here, this is the loft sleeping area. We got 2 beds in there because we got 2 villagers working. Trying to give a grinding mechanism. Honestly, I've never been inside a windmill, so I don't exactly know how it looks. Tried to look at some pictures. It kind of gave me this vibe, so I went with it. We've got just 2 villagers working. We've got the villager trying to give the food, and then it just kind of drops down. You can actually climb all the way up here to get up top to the balcony. It's a very weird mechanism. But yeah, balcony is accessible. There's not much up here. Just kind of looks. It's a nice view of the town. I really like this view, actually. It's very nice. Really like the addition of the waterfall too. So like I said, that is the newest build, so we will look at that soon enough. Can't even get out of my own windmill. Okay, there we go. We're good. I'm trying not to jump as much, fly around too much and stuff like that. Just kind of going through it myself to feel like, what would you experience if you were new and going through all of this yourself too? I mean, most of you probably would just rush through, break everything, and mine everything down. This is actually a sugarcane farm right here in the watermill. We've got sugarcane right in here. Even though it's kind of like a sugar mill, obviously I don't really need that much sugar. There's just a simple sugarcane farm. It's quite small actually. But I mainly just need it for rockets as usual. I keep things manual a lot of the times just to feel like I'm still playing Minecraft. I don't want to just farm everything. Eventually we'll get there because obviously I do want to build bigger and we're going to just need more resources. But like, I just wanted to take it slow, so I took it pretty slow. The texture of this home, quite unique. I wouldn't say this build is super recent, but I did want to experiment with just like different color variants, kind of what would just go well together. what would kind of build interest to the build itself. I don't know why I'm swimming, but over here we've got a watermill. I was trying to get the shape right. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I tried. I tried to get kind of a wheel shape, and I feel like it kind of gets the idea. I'm gonna stop swimming. That's pretty much it. All right, let's head back to the city, the town. I keep calling it a city. It's a town. So all of this is still included with the town itself. And now let's take a right here into this arch, and we are headed right into kind of the marketplace. In here, you're gonna hear quite a noise. This is supposed to be a potion shop. This building itself, I do not love. I really don't like it. I feel like I could do better, and I will do better. I am gonna rebuild this one day, but this is my XP farm. Actually, you just actually put a infesting potion on them, and it spawns a ton of silverfish. You just hit this dummy and you get a ton of XP. And this is where I was breeding them, but I feel like since you can keep your scoot, I don't want your scoot. I'm slowly losing my voice. Also, this probably wasn't a good idea to film this while I was kind of under the weather, so I'm just sipping some tea. All right. So we got the farming stall right here, and that's kind of what inspired this. Is a farmer's market. We used to go to the farmer's market literally every Sunday. It was nice, so it inspired me to make this. I will probably change quite a lot of, specifically these ones. Lots of animals get stuck in these little bins. Oh, speak of the devil. Hi, chicken. There you go. See, they just get stuck in there and they don't even come out. Enderman, gotta turn Enderman griefing off. Every time I update the game, I forget to add that in and they start griefing me. I don't like it. But yeah, just different things being sold. Honey, amethyst, urns, vases, pots is what I meant. And then we got armor and tools and weapons. This stall I left empty just to make it look like, you know, nobody bought this stall. You looking beat up, buddy? You okay? Ooh, a horse. What the? Interesting. Some things are just happening in your world and you don't even know it. And then we've got our lovely soup kitchen right here. Jumping in excitement. They're happy to see you. I called them a soup tender one time. Nice soup tender. I don't know why I found soup tender so funny. Just sounds weird, I guess. You've got these beautiful kind of fantasy-like carts, homes, like fantasy home wagons and stuff. And I just gave the idea that like they're being pulled by sniffers. You can't get them to kind of get in here. They keep getting pushed around by different creatures. Roaming the place now. We've got a lays being hauled in the back here. They're just kind of trapped. It's supposed to be more fantasy vibe, but I should probably have them more floating up there. Got our lovely butcher shop right here. Hey, butcher man. Oh, we missed the cat. We got a beautiful cat. Usually Garfield is sitting right up here. That's why we nearly missed it. But poor Garfield kind of got pushed over. Very difficult to get them up there. I assume a villager or something pushed him. And we also have another beautiful cat that's looking into the wall. Hi, Chico. Oh, no. Oh, okay. There we go. What's up? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Obviously, the cat just wants the food. I guess before we go down this direction, we've got more homes. Different types of homes. Just simpler style. All have interiors. Just the simple basic stuff. Chests. Study area, bed up there. So if you are ever somehow in danger, there are plenty of places to sleep and rest. All of these homes, also the same deal. Lots of them are just similar interiors as well. I just tried to make the exterior slightly different to give more interest to the actual village and stuff. I feel like a lot of these homes I was just kind of spamming the texture. But as of lately, I've tried to give more thought on how I texture and stuff. But yeah, I think it still holds up pretty nicely. Just like this view right here. You know, it feels like a nice town. there is also a nice custom tree over here. And this kind of commemorates the fallen soldiers that happened. So there was a great war that occurred, and it destroyed this kingdom. Yeah. I left these like little cracks and stuff into the actual terrain and just played with it. But a lot of it's just destroyed previous homes and castles and different actual buildings. I feel like I could have gone bigger with this spot too. I just left some lava in there. That doesn't make sense. That's not part of the lore. I feel like I didn't really make the buildings feel like too buildingy. What am I even saying, man? It's getting too late in the tour. I'm talking too much. Yeah, I didn't make them look more like buildings and stuff. I mean, they're just kind of walls. You got McDonald's right there. Got a bunny. Hi, bunny. How are you surviving this harsh winter? I even left some flowers here. You shouldn't be here. It's got to look more like a wasteland. Maybe I should add more of like dead trees and stuff. Yeah. And as well as, yeah, just broken, collapsed things. This was a ravine. I played with it a little bit, just kind of fixed some areas up a little bit, added some blue flames, just made it seem like it kind of broke this entire floor of this castle. And yeah, it's just more ruined. Even the castle itself, I feel like I should have made it feel more like castle-like. And then this is just housing our creeper farm. Good old explosions, you know, breaking all of this stuff up. But it's just a creeper farm. I AFK all the way up there, and then creepers start spawning, and all the gunpowder I could ever need. But eventually, this will probably get revisited. Like, why did I decide to add green there? I honestly can't tell you. I don't know what I thought or what I was thinking. So I build a lot of this in survival. I don't actually use creative too much. So a lot of the times I just come up with like a pattern in my head and just like go in a circle, make it easier for myself, and eventually just kind of connect it and all that stuff. So that's probably what I was thinking. And that's what I would do. So right down here, we actually have a bakery shop. Just some cakes and bread and stuff. I've said this before and I'll say it many times. I wish we could add 3D objects like bottles or even pies or just different things. Or maybe hopefully the loaf of bread is just more 3D rather than having to do these item frame things. It just feels weird. Yeah, I wish there was more of that. That'd be nice. But yeah, we just got a nice bakery little situation there. And right down here, we've got a blacksmith. Got a blacksmith. Hi, buddies. Got a toolsmith and a weaponsmith. This is really where mostly I did a lot of the breeding for my villagers and stuff. So, situation happened. Golem got stuck up there. I thought it was interesting to have a golem up there. But, yeah, I haven't freed them. And then we've got just a nice toolsmith, weaponsmith kind of situation. And then we actually just have a bubble column with soul sand kind of bubbling up. And I guess we can go down to my actual newest build. It was the most recent one. We got a couple custom trees here. I do like these trees a little bit more, especially from up close. It just feels more like trees, just lots of gaps and stuff underneath. Even just looking at them, the leaves don't look as blocky. It doesn't seem too full. Hi, chicken. So this waterfall actually used to be a nice small dinky waterfall. And probably show you what it used to look like. This was my second build. And I decided to revisit it just recently to rebuild it. To just make it look better. Because it was one of the... probably my most disliked build. I just did not like it. I felt like I could have done better. And it was messy. And so I kind of rebuilt it. There is still probably some parts that I feel like are messy, but it is way better and I'm way happier with this. I tried. I know there's like little tricks where you can kind of get bubbles under the water too. I might do that. I'll have to see. I have to see if I like the look of it. But the actual purpose of the waterfall is there's a secret inside. Here we are. This is also very lore based. And then you can read this book, a little more lore in there. So pretty much just a person that we talked about earlier in the inn. That guy went crazy. Actually, it's just the area for my enchants and my place that I go to the nether to. The nether has nothing in it, sadly. Not yet, at least. But eventually it'll be something beautiful. Yeah, we can go this direction. I'm gonna go grab Mabel so we can kind of speed up the situation. Oh, also that tree right there. Very new. I feel like this section right here could be a little smoother, but I like it. I like the feel of the willow tree. It's nice. It could use a couple more branches over there. But other than that, hi Mabel. Oh, look at that. Mabel knew I was coming for her. We got another entrance all the way around here. Make it easier. Doot, doot, doot. Thank you. Okay, let's head down here. Yeah, so this backside's needs a little more love, but eventually maybe I could add another cliff right here. Yeah, I was thinking maybe adding another cliff and doing like an arch kind of feel there. Who knows? Who knows if that's gonna happen? But this bridge was way earlier. Kind of wanted to make it similar vibes to the other bridge, but just smaller. And hopefully I think I accomplished that pretty well. You can go down this direction because there's actually a little secret path. You can kind of see the coarse dirt goes down this direction, and then you can kind of just follow the path here. You can see I thought I was doing something quirky by putting root dirt around the trees to make it feel like the roots are kind of growing. I don't know. Okay, and from here you can actually see my first build, and it's kind of silhouetted. That's kind of what I was going for, but it's very, very obvious just because how I built the trees. I feel like I could have made these a little bit smoother, maybe the leaves a little less pronounced there. It's very heavy, but anyways, that's kind of the vibe I was going for. So this is supposed to be a secretive base, sort of, where yeah, nobody really knows this exists in this world. And this is my little stable for Mabel. I love saying it. And there's a little dock here which kind of breaks the immersion of this supposed to be being a secretive area. Or actually, might just get rid of this dock. This is where it all started, so I needed a place to fish, and yeah. But I love this view now. And then let's take a tour, I guess, on my first house. This is my first set of armor. There's supposed to be gold pants here, but I needed it for the nether, so I kept this. And then as well as our beautiful first cat, Duchess. Oh, got her own bed and everything. I spoil you too much, even though I don't visit often anymore. Sadly, I've moved on from this first place. This first storage system, first kitchen. All of these are furnaces, so, you know, I needed to smelt stuff, but it wasn't very fast. And then we go up here, and this is where I sleep, and we've got our beautiful bird Deveria and Kiki. Deveria is actually named after one of my greatest supporters, Jordan. So, but yeah, any ideas and designs I would like to show you? Chains into cauldrons makes it look like kind of like a gutter, and then as well as actually using trapdoors as windows so you can close it. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And as well as actually this is mob safe. The trapdoor here and not trapdoors, these are regular doors. This spruce door and this spruce door angled like this, they actually can't figure out how to get in. So mob safe so far. But let's move on from here and go on to the next place. But other than that, let's head on up here. We've got the beautiful dragon. Yeah, so they're kind of uncovering a dragon. You can see some scaffolding, some mine stuff going on there. Yeah, we just got teeth, typical dripstone teeth, best kind of teeth, I guess. And a fox down there. Huh. Hi, fox. Hope you're doing well. Oh, I put some like kind of magma blocks as well as campfires to just make it seem like this kind of a sauna style pit. It's very hot. It's inside a dragon's head. Come on, obviously. You can go down here into my mines. Just to be safe, I'll leave Mabel up here and take the cart down. Whee! So that's where I do my stone mining right there. Not much detail in there. But down here, it's actually my iron farm. This is awkward. You're supposed to be in there, buddy. You're breaking the immersion. But yes, I probably missed a spot. Oh, this barrel probably right here. It was supposed to be mob proof. It's just an iron farm in here. Golems are supposed to spawn in there. We got a zombie making noise in there. We got the villagers scared. Shh, don't tell anybody that that's what's supposed to be in there. The cart that keeps going back and forth, that is supposed to go haul it up to the top over there. I'll show you that in a little bit. Down here is just more of my strip mines, but we've got a little bit of a geode being mined as well, kind of being exposed a little bit. So just wanted to show you that as well. Take the cart back up and we can go over here so you can see the beam right here. This is where the cart comes through, just like that. And then it drops it off over here, which is my blocks of iron. This is our super smelter, which is also supposed to be another kind of like blacksmith style building. Oh, I should tie up Mabel so she doesn't roam too much. Come back here. Some details. We got soot. That's what the coal and stuff is supposed to be. Just kind of flames and stuff happening. I probably should have put like anvils and things out here. But it could just be like they're melting the ores more than making it into anything. So yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? And then we have just our typical armorer in here. Don't trade with you too much, but I just kept the trade locked in. And then back here is actually where I store the things I'm smelting. And then we got the fuel. Pull the lever, clunk. And then they start firing up on all cylinders. And then all of this is super smelting, all furnaces. There's even furnaces back there and even all the way back there as well. But yeah, and then we've got some fire, some more fire, making it hot. That's kind of the goal, to give that vibe. I probably should have made a bigger wagon, but this was also a build that was pretty early on. I feel like I would have made the roof a little bit smoother. I do like the chimney, but I feel like this right here, these type of leaves, the oak leaves in this biome doesn't really work too well with the moss, so I probably would have changed that too. But I do like having like a little bit of mud, a little bit of just broken down, just making it seem old and kind of tattered. Oh, maybe I just ran out of wax, that's why it's very blue. That's definitely something that happened for sure. So right down here, follow this path. You've got a nice new small quaint village. This is supposed to be like a fishing village that was inspired by kind of Filipino fishing villages. A lot of them have like random materials, scrap metal and scrap wood and things like that to just use for whatever. And that's kind of the vibe I was going for. I felt like I captured it. A lot of the guests I had that toured my world seemed to kind of seem like they got that idea as well. A couple things I would upgrade: path, and then as well as down here in the sea, I feel like it is a little messy. Not a lot of thought, I don't think, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad actually. I do like this kind of more old raggedy bridge. Tree, not a fan of. Not a fan of this tree. Trunk is not very smooth, as well as I have exposed wood showing, and then just the use of the leaves. Some messy leaves. I would have probably made the shape more like come down this way and a little bit that way. But it's not too bad. And I feel like it is kind of small-ish. But other than that, I still like the village. Gives me a nice vibe. Still feels good. Here we go. Right up here is our beautiful new forest. I just built this very recently. We actually have the Halloween zombies right in here. I still haven't done anything with them, but they're in there nice and safe. And then we also have a nice, beautiful forest, all made out of custom trees. It is kind of a facade. It's not full on custom trees all the way out. Oh, got a broken piece right there. Oh, I bet you it was a Enderman. Enderman still grabbed the muddy roots too. Gotta love Enderman. And then we got some birds just sitting in trees. It's beautiful. I do plan on having just animals roaming around and things like that. Some wolf. I've got a wolf's den right down here as well. So we're gonna have wolves just kind of sitting around this area, patrolling it a little bit. I also probably plan on making a fox den, but you can see some parts I still need to make some trees and things. So eventually this will expand. The little trick here is look for the podzol. You want to see the podzol? Try to look for that, so that way you know the path a little bit. All the podzol is exposed from the sky. Okay, maybe not too much this one. A little bit here and there. The goal is like it rains on that spot, so it makes it muddy. And then that's why it looks like that. And then that way it kind of gives you a thing to follow without making it be like, oh, there's a path right here. Look right here. We got some birds, some ponds. We even got some bigger custom trees. I do like these ones a little more. I'm trying to go for more of a smoother look, but I feel like I still kind of, I still need to work on it. Maybe you could have put a stair there or a slab or something. I'm getting better. I am getting better. And I kind of am thinking a little bit better. We got a broken down house right here. We got a nice beautiful patch of orchids. I love blue orchids. And then another custom tree. Same situation. Got a bird. Just a point of interest. Same here. A little pond. Another bird. And then right down here, we've got our beautiful goddess, Gem, who is kind of the goddess of the forest kingdom. Right now, the only entrance is this secret tunnel right here. I'm going to actually put Mabel right out here. Just so we can kind of take a more of a view from down below here. Lady Goddess Gem is supposed to... Oh, I fell off my own bridge. The Lady Goddess Gem is supposed to be a giant, so giants and dragons used to roam the world, and now we've got them all kind of turned into stone or statues and things, so something happened to them. They kind of don't roam the world anymore, but their remnants kind of still exist, and obviously people still worship and believe in these giants and goddesses and stuff. Yeah, she's crying because she actually lost her lover, where eventually we'll hopefully build another statue that represents the lover, but they're gonna be distant apart. And then we can continue on into the tunnel here. I tried to give the vibe of like a nice cozy tunnel. I feel like I could probably smooth out some of this, but it's still pretty good. We've got some zombies chilling like a villain. Hi, zombies. This is where I keep all my zombies, because building the forest and all this stuff, I do sometimes let the night go through, so some villager zombies come at me, and then yeah, we can cure them eventually. Right down here, we got a interest. I will probably change this. I probably want to make this more of into a moon shape, because I kind of worship the moon in the forest kingdom. So I do want to add more like moon shape style stuff. A lot of zombie noises. Do I have another zombie in here? Of course I do. This is a zombie village. But we've got actually my starter home in the forest kingdom. It's Some people call it the mustache house. Right down here, we've got a beautiful storage that has been absolutely guttered. Right up here is just my loft. Right up here is a little enchanting system. But eventually this will probably be refurnished into something else. Maybe like a different shop of some sort or something like that. Just the nice mushroom house. So most of these buildings, these villager buildings, are just random things. Like a hobbit house, and then as well as we've got the witch's hut, log, stump, more hobbit homes back there. So it's just going to be mainly random things. I even started making a mushroom house right over there. So these three are in a video, so they're not actually furnished just yet. Just kind of have the bare bones. And then we've got, speaking of bones, we've got our beautiful Sherlock bones right over here. Hi, Sherlock bones. So cute. I also did things with like the flowers, kind of keep them more together. Kind of have the mushrooms and things growing, because I want to make it more like a mystical vibe, like a mystical forest when you enter in here. So I probably should have made this more into a moon shape rather than a circle, but I like this. It looks nice. But right in here is our members hall. We've got all the members up here. We got Jordan, aka Deviria, as I mentioned earlier. We've got some familiar faces from an SMP I used to be in called The Neighbors. Friends I've met through YouTube and all that. We've got even just constant supporters. It's my community. And then we've got the top donator, which is Jordan right here, commemorated by this tree. But yeah, plenty of space to grow. And then right up here, I actually don't like these custom trees. I like my more recent custom trees, but some of these trees are kind of weirdly shaped a little bit, and I don't like that as much. We grow and we learn. Right down here is just another lake and pond and waterfall. This waterfall came before the other previous waterfall, so it's not as good. Like, pig somehow got up there. What? Wait, what? A pig's up there. Very messy. Way messier texturing, way messier just like sloping of the mountain, messier waterfall. I feel like I could make this 10 times better. I love the cattails, love the little lily pads with the flowers. It's nice. We've got another dragon. I'm gonna fly so you can get a better view. I would probably texture this differently like most things. I feel like this is also messy texturing. I probably would have done like the darker pieces and darker pieces underneath the, you know, spots that are shaded. I would have probably done more shading on this one. It's a little messy. I think it gives the idea that there's a dragon. There's a daylight sensor for the copper bulb, so it turns on and off randomly. But I honestly could probably hook that up to the actual moss farm, to when it's actually working. Speaking of which, this is a moss farm. There you go. Plenty of moss. Oops. I didn't want this. Okay, anyways. Noise. Get away from that moss farm. But yeah, it's just a nice moss farm. Oh, I should also show you. The dragon extends all the way into the river. And you can kind of see the tail a little bit there. Into the water a little bit. And then as well as the body. The bare bones. And then right down here, we've got our beautiful library. We've got the moon shape. Got the moon shape over there. And then we even got the allays all over here. They're supposed to be roaming around like this, because I actually have a system that drops books right over there. You saw that? And then they drop it back off, like a dropping off system. Like they work here. Oh, it's so cute. It's so adorable. I didn't know they just still jump on this. I need to find a way to cover up the top here, I guess. Make sure they don't want to have to jump. But yeah. Very noisy. I don't know how to turn the noise off. I guess I just have to turn no blocks off. But yeah, I'll have to make more systems just like that, where random books will just plop up. So good. Nothing too crazy. And this is actually where I keep my mending, and this is my mending villager and even my silk touch villager right here. Now I was trying to get this villager into get a nice trade as well. That villager will probably be more roaming, and then the silk touch villager will probably just be sitting in there as well. Oh, look at Sherlock Bone, so cute. And just nice den. And then we can go right down this way. Got more trees. And then we got a nice bridge right here. Oh yeah, a little bit broken up. It's supposed to be more like broken and got little pieces of debris on the sides and stuff. Just kind of showing how old this place is. We got our friendly ghast that we acquired fairly recently to help get wolves into the forest, but that didn't go too well. Creepers blew up the den area and let the wolves out. Oh, I should have showed you that. I just have berries under carpet to keep the wolves in that section. And that's kind of the idea. All right, next piece of lore is the wizard's tower. We've got the beautiful wizard who is actually keeping this place safe. So this place is supposed to be secretive, just only allows good, kind people in the forest kingdom. And then as well as we just kind of... I'm supposed to enclose all of this in like mountain ranges and stuff. So it's going to be all the way around enclosed in mountain ranges. And that's kind of the secretive thing. And then as well as the defense of all the crystals, kind of keeping it more protected, even though it is somewhat secretive. You know, word still gets out. Obviously, people will know this exists. We can get up there and I can talk more about what the crystals represent. But here we've got a nice, beautiful blue tree. Just a lot of glass and warp nylium. And then in here, in the wizard's tower, so I do have like another entrance here. This is going to be my bulk storage, but I haven't done anything with it yet. Then over here inside the storage, more uncured zombies. Alright, this might be a trend. This is my shulker box mess from my recent build. And then as well as this is my storage system as of right now. This is where I keep all my stuff. I live in the wizard's tower. Got our zombie friends. We got our first set of diamond armor. Or it's just our old diamond armor before I turned it into netherite. This room isn't finished yet, but this is supposed to be more of like the cookhouse, the kitchen style stuff. And then we can go right up here. And this is just kind of a nice, cozy, little, cute wizard's tower. Right up here is the bedroom. More chests. And then more books. Got even a little nook for you to read and sit up and look outside the window. And this is actually a nether portal. I don't know if I'm going to keep it a nether portal or I'm just going to keep it for more aesthetics. Oops, I didn't mean to go in. There's nothing in here. Like I said, I haven't done anything in the nether as of yet. We only have a... I don't know why I have a torch. Probably put a lantern or something. Ooh, the new copper lanterns probably go really well up there. And then we just go right up here. Ooh, this is a long wizard's tower. My goodness. Here is the purple crystal. Purple crystal is just the power crystal. You can see in the middle, dragon egg. And dragon over there. Interesting. Interesting. You're saying that this has a past of some sort? That maybe the dragon saved this world? So the orange crystal is supposed to kind of represent the life in this world. Animals, the people, right? And then you've got water represented over here. And then even a green crystal that's represented by the plants and forest and foliage and all green. Very dangerous tower. No ledge right here. So don't fall off. Woo-wee! I forget you can just fall right down. But yeah, got a chandelier right here. Oh, I forgot we also have kind of like a moon relic stone style here. I'm gonna probably do more of these in like spots that feel empty. And then right over here is an unfinished build that I don't know when I'm gonna revisit. But this is about the time I started to actually get burnt out. Even though I didn't really feel it and know it, this is when it happened. Unfinished interior. Just got some more zombie villagers. But yeah, we've got the bones laid out. And then I was even gonna do some map art as well to add like signs and stuff above. Did I say it was an inn? It's supposed to be a tavern, not an inn. Only tavern this time. We'll have the inn separated. But that is pretty much it. That is all I have for you. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Right as of right now, the paths don't really fork at all. So right now it's just mainly a very linear path, but eventually it will fork into different sections and different areas. I worked very hard this whole year. Sadly, I did burn out, so it did slow down quite a bit, but I am happy of the progress we have made, and I am very happy for my 1-year anniversary. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I hope you come and see what else I have to build. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the tour for anybody who, you know, maybe you found some ideas or some things like that. Save it. Join the Discord if you want to talk to people, to me. That's the best way to contact me. If you have any questions or you want to download the world, it's going to be down in Discord. So I hope to see you guys there. And thank you so much for making it this far into the tour. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.